Hey guys, John here. This video today is just going to be an update video on the new enclosure I've got over here. So I'll get to that enclosure in a second and tell you what's in it and how I've used it. But I'll first off I'll give you a quick overview of the room. If you've noticed or you watched me recently, my last video, I've switched these around. This used to be here and like where that was, and these used to be against the window. But now I've obviously switched it around. The reason I've switched it around is really because one reason, these dragons like to look outside, they like to see stuff happening, they like to see movement. That I find that they always call to the window, like there's a door here, and they always like try and used to crawl to like that side of the tank to have a look outside the door. But now that they stay here, I mean, she can see outside, so she doesn't, I mean, she stays where the basking spot is. So does he. So I'll just start off by giving you a quick update of the dragons. These are only like, what, a couple of days after you've seen my last video. So you can probably see, these are my two red leatherbacks, bearded dragons. I got these from Victoria. They are high reds, as you can see here. This is Nova. They're both boys, by the way. They're brothers, hatched on the same day, obviously, and grown up together. And then this is Casper. Nova is not in shed at the moment. He's actually going into a full body shed. I think Casper is just about nearly coming out of one. He's probably going to shed in the next week or so. So if you guys don't know what I keep them in, it's just a rack system. This rack system consists of obviously a tub, the heat light at the back there, if you can see, then a UV strip. I'll do a quick, maybe the next video, I'll do like all my pets for 2015. I haven't done a video. I've done 2014. One and stuff like that. Haven't done for 2015 yet. So these are the boys, Casper and Nova, and then Envy and Bamba. So Envy is at the back and Bamba is at the front. These are my productions. If you can see, gorgeous, gorgeous girls. So Envy is at the back. She's the one with the giving you the stern look, and then Bamba's up front right here. See if I can get it to focus. There you go. And they just kept in the exact same setup. So if you can see, water dish, water, food dish. I'll just give you a quick update on Athena, my female bearded dragon, adult. She's kept under the lights, just chilling near the front of the tank. Okay, so now I'll get to the enclosure. This enclosure is a URS large enclosure. So this at the bottom tank, it's also URS, but it's a double large. So obviously it's double. Well, it's not double the size. I don't know why they call it double large, but yeah, it's a double large. So the one I recently got is a 3-footer, but this one is a 4-foot. So you can get packages. I did not get the package because I find, me personally as a bearded dragon breeder, the packages are usually for people who have just gotten into the hobby and don't know what they're doing, but I do. So I don't actually need the package. What the package comes with are the light fittings, the lights, which is obviously, no matter how smart you are, you need those. But it also comes with the thermostat. Now, the thermostat it comes with is this one. So this is a, if I can get it to focus. There you go. It's a microclimate dimming thermostat. I personally actually don't use thermostats for any of my cages. It's all a trial and error thing for me. More or less than anything. Obviously, you can see that the light is not fully up at the top, and it's lowered to a specific point, if you can see here. And the reason that is because I use lights that you don't buy from a pet shop. I'll show you them before I get to anything else. Pet shop lights usually consist of these ones. So this is an 100-watt intense basking spotlight. Basking spot. 75% more heat. These are great for new dragon owners. But I find more experienced owners and breeders, they're absolutely rubbish and a waste of money. The reason why they're a waste of money is because, one, they're $20 for this. Number two, a normal light, the ones I buy are $2. They give you the exact amount of heat. Bearded dragons don't need an intense amount of heat. They need around a 35 to 38 max heat variation. So the hot side of the tank should be around, I'd say 30 being the lowest, 38, 39, 40 even the highest. In some dragons like a very hot heat, but like it's not as hot as some monitors which go like 40s and 50s. So dragons are pretty moderate heat temperament. So I don't think I actually have these. Oh, and they break really easily. I'll tell you another thing with these pet shop light bulbs. The pet shop light bulbs, this part of the bulb. So let me get it straight. The whole bulb, you put your fingerprints on it, and it explodes. Why that is that they've got a with the heat lights, they've got a coating. It's not actually. I'm pretty sure they don't have the coating. So when any oils from your fingers touch the lights, it burns up on that specific spot. So say if I touched it over there, it would burn up on that specific spot, trying to burn the oil off, and then it eventually would crack the light bulb and obviously blow up. And for that reason alone, they break extremely easy. Like, you don't even know. Like, you could have touched it a week ago and it could just suddenly blow up. But, you know it's from that reason, because, like, I mean, why else, other than, like, if you have faulty fittings and stuff, which I don't, because mine are all new. And I don't even have the light in here, obviously, because it's broken. I just have one of these. Yeah, this is working. A lot of people tend to use these with bearded dragons. I find that highly unlikely and something you should not do. Bearded dragons are desert animals. They never see a red sun unless they're like eclipse watchers. So the sun is not red, but it's say it's just like a light color, like I have in my enclosures. At the moment, it's like that color, and that's why I keep my dragons in that type of color. I find that a red light isn't very natural. If you look into the sky, you're not going to see something burning that's red, and this gives off a really like eerie red glow, which really, they say it's good for nighttime viewing, but why are you going to look at your dragon at nighttime anyway? Dragons, well, in my area, they don't need a nighttime light. If you're looking at a nighttime light for your dragon, you usually go more towards the ceramic heat emitters. Ceramic heat emitters are like terracotta or porcelain light bulbs. So they've got the stem of the light bulb. Like, they have the stem, but it's just like a coiled ceramic tip, and it gives off no light, just heat, and they're good for nighttime. I recommend using no heat lights at night, unless you're obviously in a cooler area where it gets below 20 degrees. I wouldn't say 20, I'd say 10 degrees. 15, they're fine really up to anywhere below 10. Anywhere below 10, it's getting a little cold, a little too cold for them. Well, here where I live, it heats up, so even if it gets 10 degrees, it'll heat up really quickly in the afternoon, or even in like early morning. So I'll show you what I use. Okay, these are the lights I use. They're Philips wide beam 60-watt floodlights. What these floodlights are is that they're a floodlight. You just like a floodlight you put outside in your garden or something like that. That just give off a good amount of light. But also the good thing about them is that they give off a really good amount of heat, which not a lot of people know. And see, also the good thing with this, you can touch this. Like, it's not going to do anything. Like, if I wanted to, I could spit on this, which it's kind of weird, but you could, and it would not do anything to the light, which is great. I stock up quite a few on these because, I mean, why won't you stock up? You can't exactly stock up on these unless you want to go into the hundreds. Because these are around $20 each, like I said, and you buy 5 of them, that's $100. So I mean, like, why would you want to go through that much money just to buy backup lights? These are around $2-3 each. So I get 5 or 6 upon every purchase I go. So I use the 60 watts for the adults. If you can see in there, that's a 60 watt. That's a 60 watt. So you can see these, if you do notice, they're actually really a lot smaller. And that's because they are spotlights. Let's see over here. I've got some spares. And then over here, I can just show you these. You can see the size difference if I take them out. The difference, floodlight, spotlight. These spotlights give the exact same amount of heat. Well, not obviously the exact same. They give slightly less, obviously. But see, this is a focus beam. I was going to put a wide beam in the baby racks, but I soon figured out that I also test my stuff before I put my dragons in there, so I know it's suitable for them. And I figured out if I had 2 wide beams, it gets way too hot there, and like the whole area is hot. So I put spotlight lamps. And if you can see over there, they're hitting right at the back, and that's where they are. Right at the back, that's where they are. And it keeps a good temperature variation through there. So that's why I use them. They're great, and they're extremely cheap. It's $3 for a 2-pack. Which really you can't go wrong. You can really smash them, do what you want. They're not gonna affect, like, the price is really good. I mean, why would you worry about the price when they're that cheap? It's kind of silly. So that's what I use in terms of lights. Don't use these. I mean, you can use these. It's just that the fact that these are very hard because they're 100 watt. I never used the 100 watt. I mean, long last for my bulbs. I never used the 100 watt bulbs. Well, I did in the start because I had to, like, there was no point. I had to hook it up to a thermostat. Like the thermostat over there, I absolutely had to hook it up if I was using a 100 watt bulb because it just gets way too hot. If I put a 100 watt bulb there, it's going to heat that up way too much to like the 40, 45. A 60 watt can heat that up to a 45. So imagine what a 100 watt could do. So that's why I don't use these because I don't hook them up to a thermostat. Like I said, I just regulate the height, put a temperature gauge under there, measure the temperature, see what temperatures I'm getting, and then do that accordingly. And I've done that to every enclosure. Even with the babies, I've adjusted the height of this thing. You can't exactly see it, but this thing, you can put that up and down. And I'll put it that high because it gives it a 35-degree temperature. And that's what they like. And that's what they need. So now, finally getting to this enclosure after all I've gotten there is a nice, not a heat rock, just a nice rock that really heats up. It's not hot, but it's nice and warm. There's Poseidon in the background, if you can have a look at him. I've just got some green foliage in there just to make him feel a little at home, because if you guys did know, he was in this 4-sided like jail sentence cell. This was his thing, so it was a 3 out of the 4 sides was like a black, so he couldn't see out. So as you can see, he gets a little confused now and then. looking outside, seeing the reflections. So they'll take a good week and a half to 2 weeks maybe for him to get used to that. It's very normal for him to see and do that. So if you have got a new dragon and moved it, don't worry. He might go off eating, might do all that type of stuff because of stress-related incidences. But usually it sorts itself out. He hasn't gone off eating. He's too fat to be going off eating. He doesn't care where he is, he'll eat. So like I said, I've got a rock, got some foliage, I've got my UVB heat light. This heat light is the 60 watt, and as you can see, there's a good foot difference. Let's have a look. So see, you can see, yeah, he's normally around here. So actually a good, yeah, foot of a different sync, not different sync, a good foot distance away. And even if he's up there, the temperatures only get to around 38 degrees, which is ideal for a dragon. So he normally hangs around on the little end here. So he still gets the light, still obviously gets his UVB. And he's fine. So at the moment he's got a paper towel. Paper towel is, I would say, is a must-have for a dragon. Sorry about that. If you're like changed it, you don't want to change it drastically. I mean, if I put him on glass or tile straight away in his new enclosure, he'd find it really stressful. So I have taken it off and put some paper towel. And if you're wondering what I am using as substrate, I use tile at the moment. Tile is a great substrate, as bearded dragons, especially babies and adults, bearded dragons, they get impacted very easily. A lot of people might say that otherwise, and a lot of people do hold bearded dragons and breed successfully on sand and different substrates, but I really don't want to take that chance, and I think they look really nice on tile. And they can walk on it as well. So that's another thing that people say, oh, but my bearded dragon can't walk on tile. They'll get used to it and they'll get very well at doing it. They couldn't do it at first. Now she's fine on it. She can walk perfectly. But I am also getting them, I'm not sure if I said, like a slate rock tile. So this, if you don't know what that is, it's a tile. So it's a tile thickness about that thick, but it's got like the rock texture. So it's all bumpy and stuff. So it grinds the nails down, lets them walk happily, and gives some good traction. So what else I have? I just got a food dish with my vegetables, and then all this is water bowl. Another thing with bearded dragons that people don't like to do is put water bowls in the enclosure. I put water bowls in the enclosure just due to the fact that they like to go in it, which usually a bearded dragon doesn't too much, but they actually go into the thing a lot. What I mean by that is that just bearded dragons in general aren't a very aquatic animal, obviously, but they tend to like the water a lot. The reason why also people don't like to put water in there is because of the humidity wise. Humidity is a big problem with bearded dragons. If it's too much, they'll get an upper respiratory infection, which can lead to death. But as you can see, it's well ventilated in here, and there's also vents on top. If you guys didn't see, there you go. I can just show you that, and that's all across the top, and that's the exact same with her. But it's pretty much covered. As you can see, all across there, and that's really all they need. As long as some point is well ventilated, they should have no problem with humidity wise. So that's pretty much all I want to say, guys. I mean, thank you for all the subscribers I have. I mean, I've pretty much got 700 by now. I'm pretty sure. The channel's going really well. If you guys want to ask me any questions, you can just go on my Facebook. That's on the channel, like a dashboard of my thing, so you can see where you can click on my John's Dragons and click the channel, and it'll come up with my things at the bottom. So you can just click Facebook and then message me anything you want, ask me any questions, and don't feel free to ask me any silly questions, or just ask questions that you think people know, but I'll happily give you the answer, as if I didn't have people like that, I wouldn't be the be as knowledgeable on the dragons as I am. So yeah, guys, thanks for that. This is the new enclosure. Hope you guys like it. He certainly does, I'll tell you that. He certainly loves it. And thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.